Hello, it's another Monday evening, Monday night actually, and it's always nice to join you on the football show. It's the football show. My name is Wale, and as usual, I'm not alone. I've got my mate, my colleague, Amos Joseph here with me. We're going to be discussing quite a few topics today. So we're going to be talking quite a bit about, we always like focusing on what's going on in Africa, especially zooming on Nigeria, because there's so much to talk about. So today we're going to be focusing on that. And before we delve into the topics for today, I just need to remind you that please don't forget to subscribe to the show. Okay, have a look at what we've done in the past. If you do like them, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. All right, we come to you at about this time every Monday just to discuss football. Okay, as it affects Africa and most times zooming in on Nigeria. Like I said, I am not alone today. Well, my name remains Wale. I've got Amos here with me, and in the course of the program, we'll also be joined by some other guests. We'll be talking, chatting today about quite a lot of stuff. All right, so and again, we were just preparing for Christmas. So if you just here, right? Yeah, his Christmas tree just right behind me, and just like Amos has got his palm frond or palm tree right behind him there, all in the mood, all in the Christmas mood. So Amos, once again, it's another Monday. We're talking football. Welcome to the show. We'll try and reconnect, establish contact with Amos. Just we've got some technical audio difficulties there. So once as soon as we get Amos in, we're going to kick off the show, and obviously we'll talk about what we intend to talk about. Amos, can you hear me now? Hello, Amos. Amos. All right. Well, we'll try and reconnect with Amos. We seem to have a little bit of technical difficulty there. We can see Amos' face, but we're not able to communicate. Can hear him, and obviously maybe he can't hear us. But my producer, director, Yomi, is doing everything possible to make sure that we get him back, and obviously we kick off this show. So as soon as we re-establish contact with Amos, we'll be discussing all that we've got here today. So obviously we're going to be talking about. We'll be reviewing African players in the Premier League. Um, we're going to be reviewing them. We're going to be talking about the core issue that's been plaguing the Nigerian Football Federation at the moment. That's the issue of the technical advisor of the team, Raw. People are saying he's already been sacked. He's saying the NFF is saying no. He's still in the job. Where do we go from here? We're going to talk about that too. We need to know if Raw is going to be in charge of the Super Eagles before the AFCON, which is obviously kicking off in January in Cameroon. Of course, some former Nigerian internationals coming out to say, it's too late. You just can't sack him now. Where were you going to get to take over and obviously lead the team to AFCON in Cameroon, which is just about a few months from now? So all that we would be discussing. Okay, we'll be discussing all that today. So we're just trying to, like I said, reconnect with Amos, and as soon as we do that, we will get back to you. But if my producer, I don't know if we can quickly take a break while we reconnect with Amos, if that's possible. If we can, we'll just take a quick break and try and reconnect with Amos so we can continue our discussion. All right, stay there, we'll be back. Welcome back. I think we now have Amos with us. So we will just go straight to Sheffield, where Amos is. Hello, Amos. How are you? Can you hear me now? Hi, Amos. Can you hear me? Amos in Sheffield. Can you hear me? All right. I think we still got that issue. Still got that technical issue. We're not able to speak with Amos. So, well, just as we try to reconnect with Amos, just bringing the news that South Africa have lost their appeal against Ghana. I remember we spoke about this about a few episodes ago when the South African Football Federation, Football Association, um, you know, made a complaint, made an appeal to FIFA over that controversial loss to Ghana. Where they felt a mate that was impeded and a penalty was given to the Ghanaian team. They felt it was not a penalty, so they obviously took it to FIFA, and FIFA have now decided to throw that out. They say, you know what, your appeal has got no ground. So Ghana goes through to the playoffs of the Qatar 2022 African qualification. So Ghana are in, rightly so, obviously because they won that game by a penalty, and also because FIFA has decided to throw in the bin the appeal of the South African Football Association. Amos, can you hear me now? Amos, can you hear me? Okay, we still cannot hear Amos. We will try and just reconnect with him. We seem to have a problem today. Sorry about that. If you're watching, just a few difficulty because Amos is there in Sheffield, and we're just trying to reconnect and obviously speak with him on this show. Whilst we wait, obviously, I've just informed you about um, the process FIFA went through in looking at the appeal that the Ghanaian team, the appeal that the South African team brought to them, and they've now decided it wasn't worth it. So they have they've thrown that in the bin, and obviously Ghana are into the playoffs as they were, because they won that game anyway. Amos, can you hear me? Are you back in? Hello, Amos.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Amos, I can
but I
hear
can't
you.
hear anything from the studio.
Oh, all right.
I can only
Amos,
see
can you
Joe
hear me?
Aribo.
You can only see Joe Aribo. All right. Okay, I think we probably have to do it another way. I don't know if you mean we still want to go on another break. Maybe we can just look for another solution to this, if that is possible.
When you come live again, it doesn't
Amos, can you hear us now?
On the phone, yes.
Okay. Yeah, can you hear us?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Yes. I don't know if we can hear Amos. Yomi, I suppose we can probably just go to Amos now on the screen. Amos, we were talking about the South Africans and the Ghana match, when the South Africans actually went to FIFA to appeal to FIFA to have that game given to them or replayed, actually. And the FIFA have now decided to, just cancel or just drop the appeal and gave the game itself to Ghana, because obviously Ghana won the game that day. So what's your take about that?
Ordinarily, it's expected that FIFA would do some more investigations, based on antecedents. There are some games in the past that FIFA had to order a replay. I think that was involving Senegal, I think. And then when it came to this one, they couldn't order a replay, which the South Africans, feel like this is a disservice to them. They feel it's unacceptable. But I don't know if they want to go to CAS. We're not sure if they want to go to a higher court to plead their case, which will make sense because missing out on the World Cup is a big deal. It only happens every 4 years, or until maybe we start seeing the World Cup every 2 years. It would be very funny if Ghana proceeds based on this. And we're going to be having the round very soon. Countries are going to be knowing who they'll be facing when the draws proper is being held. It's somehow, because it's going to be double standards if FIFA does not take another critical look at this situation involving South Africa and Ghana. It's somehow some people, maybe proponents of South Africa or people who saw that game, because we looked at the game again, we looked at the replay, and this shouldn't be a penalty, but again, referees make calls based on their discretion sometimes, and then this is one of the reasons why why the VAR was brought in the first place.
Yeah.
VAR helps eliminate some of these human errors, but we still see some mistakes. That's not to say that football has been devoid of errors or has been devoid of mistakes, but we still see some of these things. But it would help a great deal if the World Cup, if the World Cup qualifier proper, we're going to start having maybe VAR, or I don't think there'll be anything in the immediate. If they could start testing this VAR thing from the AFCON, I think it would be nice, just so that Africa is also at par with the game at global stage, and then we're going to be getting more respect. We're going to be getting more respect. If we don't have VAR, you're leaving it to human errors. You're leaving the game in the hands of individuals alone when they can be assisted by other individuals, and then it becomes very glaring. If there is any error, people are able to say, okay, we need to take a critical look at this situation. If there's anything that we need to adjust, yeah. So I think it will be nice if they can go to a high court, if they are going to be able to get anything out of it. But it will be strange if the CAS would rule in South Africa's favor. It will be strange, because for FIFA to have ruled at this time, understanding that whatever it is that their decision is would really impact on the draws. Ghana is already among the listed countries, and if anything is not done now, when would that be?
Well, congratulations again, as it is. Well, going by what FIFA said to Ghana, we're looking forward to seeing the Black Stars of Ghana play the playoffs. Whenever that is, and obviously the FIFA has already also made announcement that VAR should be up and running in most stadiums in Africa, and as such, I think it was the Teslim Balogun that was obviously banned from now hosting FIFA or CAF graded competitions. I think we've got we've got the man here. Hello, Dr. Uyi, Dr. Drew.
How you doing?
How you doing, Doc?
I'm good.
It's nice to see you finally on the show.
Nice to see you too. It was short notice, but I said let me jump on it.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, we're grateful for that. You know, we just called on your short notice, and here you are. You know, always there to talk about football. Always there. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Yeah. So, Drew, you know, there's this talk going about us being in the media, especially Nigerian media, really, about someone that is very close to you, someone you know, is someone that is hot now. You know, he's probably one of the hottest properties in the Premier League. We're talking about no other person but Emmanuel Dennis. Plays for Watford. And this news, I mean, he's been in the news for the right reasons, obviously, because he's been banging in the goals. He's been doing wonderfully well. Troy Deeney recently said he's on the way to being a legend at Watford, which is really big coming from Troy Deeney. And then we heard this news that Emmanuel Dennis might not want to play on or call up from Nigeria, especially as we prepare for the AFCON. Tell us and clear the air, if you can, for us here. If the NFF call Emmanuel Dennis, will he answer the call of the fatherland?
I would say yes, he will answer the call, because I've known Dennis for a bit now. Just before he moved to the UK, we developed a relationship. We're good friends, you know. I'm handling some of his matters. So, you know, he's a cool guy. You know, he's a gentle guy. He's a disciplined player coming from this military background. He's lived in the barrack for his life. So, he's a decent young man that he have been called up before. So there's no reason for him to say no. He's doing well for Watford. Everybody knows that. I've been to all his home games up to date, and the fans love him. But when it comes to country, he has to answer the call.
And you know what? When he first came into the Prem, people doubted him. He should have gone to Everton at some point, and Everton said no. And he came back to hunt Everton, you know, and scored against them, doing very well, and just showing them this is what you're missing, guys. But he's at Watford that settled him. When he first came in, people never really gave him a chance. What's the secret behind Emmanuel Dennis's insurgence in the Premier League? I mean, people find it very hard to settle in the Premier League, but he's just eased in.
No, I mean, he has been ready. Right, so this is part of the frustration he had in the Bruges. Arsenal have been interested. Manchester United has been interested in the past. They were all interested, but the club would not let him go for the fee. They were putting some ridiculous amount on him, and that affects a lot of Nigerian players as well. Saying they were asking for 25 million, and the club were thinking was worth 15 million at that time. So they didn't want to let him go. But at the end of the day, you know, they let him go for 3.45 million because his contract was running up, so they had no choice than to let him go. But he's a player. There's no secret behind it. He's a good player from the beginning. He has scored for somebody to go to Real Madrid and score 2 goals against them. You know, he's a player that scores in the big games. He scored against Manchester United before he even came to the Premiership. Yeah, he scored against them now again. You know, scored against Chelsea. So he's definitely a good player. In Bruges, they call him the magician. So he's good at the flank. You know, he can play in the right, he can play in the left, he can play in the middle. You know, he's good with the ball, he's comfortable, and above all, he's very disciplined. And people don't know that part of him. So that is why we swung into action when somebody just came up with a story that, oh, you know, and this stuff that the person that put that story out of assumption, it caused a lot of damage for other press people, because that's why you see some Nigerian players, a few of them will say, oh, we don't talk to Nigerian pressmen, because it's because of stuff like this, because they said they're not professional enough. So we have to try as much as possible to do the right thing, make sure that we get our facts before we publish anything, because some of these footballers, they don't know the difference between mainstream media and the social media guys. You know, they just say, oh, they're all press men. And it's not good for the trained journalists. The trained journalists are doing their thing, and then some guys, just because now there's no monopoly, you can just wake up in the morning and say you're a journalist. There's no barrier. If you open a blog, you can publish whatever you want to publish. So they don't think that deep. They just say, oh, these people that they just write. You know, even with Dennis now, I need to explain to him that, oh, it's not like that. You know, they're not all the same. You know, that's why the papers like Vanguard and Guardian and other top papers, they came out with a statement that this guy did not say anything. He doesn't even talk to anyone. And the way they brought the news was that before the Man City game, and him is very focused. I knew he's very focused. Like, how can he be making a statement before the Man City game when it's like focused 2 days before? 2 days before, he's so focused. He can't even be talking to anybody. He doesn't even talk. He just send text. So who will he be saying that he don't want to play for Nigeria? So it was very unfortunate.
It's you know, before I just get to Amos, because Amos is going to ask you a question or two too. I just wanted to say I saw quite recently an interview conducted by someone at the NFF. Obviously, it was an Instagram interview with Dennis, and the story he spoke about his travels in Ukraine. It was really very touching, because this guy, you saw the other side of Emmanuel Dennis. Everyone sees him and sees this guy bubbling on the pitch of play. You know, outside the pitch of play, he's a cool-headed guy. You know, he posts some pictures on Instagram, you know, fashionable and whatever. But not a lot of people know that he went through thick and fire in Ukraine to be what he is now. You know, so and is there any way, you know, Nigerian players especially could probably try and repair, as it were, the relationship within, or probably just distinguish, you know, between jobbers and the real people?
Yeah, that is why I'm there. What I do is I educate. I give them eyes to see that you cannot do it. You cannot progress with I mean, you cannot say, oh, I want to do it with the press. In other words, you have to work with the press, but you have to work with reputable press people. You cannot just put everybody in one basket. So there is still a way, and the problem the challenges I'm facing is that, you see what you said about Dennis. Dennis has been patient to get to where he is today. When he was in Bruges, he wants to move there. Like, no, you African boy, you have to stay there. You move until we tell you. We will give you permission before you can move. You cannot move if the right money does not come. Okay, look at what happened with Kane, the Kane in Tottenham. Yeah, he did what he did, but no person said, oh, he's indisciplined. So because Dennis wasn't happy, because this club in Belgium, they were not letting him go to Arsenal or Manchester United, which every young man will be angry. You know, they said they want to tag him that he's indisciplined. So going back is, as I said, Dennis has been patient from Ukraine to where he is today. So when you have some upcoming, I don't know whether upcoming journalists or whatever the case may be, when they are not patient with these boys, I'll be like, some people will come on social media, I post to them every time. They just some kind of entitlement, you know, and that's very wrong. you've been doing your job. You know how long you've been doing it. You've been like, maybe you have like 20, 25 years, but you're still patient with these footballers and like, okay, when the time comes, yeah, just give him his space. Yeah. Like someone like Ndidi, I've known Ndidi for like, before I started working with him, I've known him for like, because this trust thing, they have to trust you first. They can't just start working with you.
Exactly.
I knew Ndidi like for maybe like 4 or 5 years before he started working with me. And people think that success is overnight. You know, I work with all the top Nigerian players. Yeah, but they've seen my track record. You cannot just come and start posting on Instagram and then you start ranting that, oh, because I post your picture, because of that you owe me something. They'll be like,
no.
You know how long I've been on this? I've been on this since I was in primary school. You know, it's really by the grace of God that I'm where I am today. And you're coming that, oh, you need to give me this, you need to give me that. You know, so and you know, and people, and another problem is these people are not patient. People want to trend overnight. People want traffic on their page. You want to have traffic on your page on the expense of a footballer that has been, you know, managing his career. Okay, look, Dennis just came. Yeah, I've been working on his branding side. I'm trying to like, you know, trying to give that picture that, look, this guy is not a snob, first and foremost. It's not rude. It's not indisciplined. He's a very disciplined guy from his background. It just, the way I see him, is just a player like Ndidi. He's a player like Victor Moses. And he's a player like Osazel Demigie. They speak the truth. You know, you just see something wrong, they'll be like, yeah, it's wrong. Okay, when Balogun said something wrong, or because it's mixed race, and nobody had a problem with that. You know, you know, these people, a lot of people, Dennis is so straightforward. Like, I can vouch for him that he will tell you the way it is. You know, he's not gonna like look away. You know, you know, so he knows himself. I'm not trying to sell him. He knows himself. If Nigeria calls him properly and they do the right thing, he will definitely be there. There's no reason why he should not be there.
You know what, Drew? You don't even need to sell Dennis, because Dennis is already, either we like it or not, he's hot. You know what I mean? He's done it. Exactly, he's done it at the highest stage.
The right people around him.
Exactly. Thank you. So I think you know what? Just our best wishes to Dennis. He, as far as we're concerned, he has got nothing else to prove. Okay, he's done it before. He's still doing it. He hasn't got anything to prove.
He's not scared against the big teams. Yeah, as I said, he scored against Real Madrid, scored against Manchester United, scored against Chelsea. You name it, scored. You know, top European club. So if he's in a position to play, he's calm. Look at the goal he scored against Leicester. You know, it was calm. He's a calm guy. He's not carried away. He's seen it all. So what I would say is that we should be progressive, like people like in the space, especially. So because like what Osimhen did, Osimhen said, okay, because the younger ones, they're understanding now. Sometimes we push them to that position where they then have that colonial mentality that, oh, the white people can do better. You know, we push them to that place because I'm a football agent. I would want the Nigerian players to have Nigerian agents. Yeah. You know, I would like the Nigerian footballers to have the players to have the Nigerian agent, to have Nigerian people taking care of their affairs. But most times they'll be like, oh, they're not ready. They're not ready. So it takes one person to spoil everything. He's just getting the confidence of the Nigerians, because he even told me about something that there's a time he was in Nigeria, he was very tired. He finished training, was so tired. Some of these guys came. The person is not even a proper journalist, it's just somebody that have a blog online. Same scenario. So, oh, I want to interview you. He said, no, I'm tired. But first and foremost, he believes in process. He believes in protocol. If you want to interview someone in a camp, you need to speak to the media officer. If the media officer said it's cool, but the person took an offense, the next thing the person started writing rubbish. And some of our people, they're too vindictive. They don't have the patience. They've just been in the industry for like a year or two. They're vindictive already. And there are people that have been there for 30 years that be taking it easy, you know, getting the trust of these people. With that one little action, they'll be like, I don't want to do with these people. Just forget about all of them. They are all the same.
Hopefully, yeah,
where we are.
just like you said, we'll be you'll be doing everything you can to actually mend fences between the two sizes. Amos has got a question, and he said, what position do you think Amos performs better in, as a striker, behind the striker, on the wings? He seems to be doing everything for Watford. He's more like a Superman now at Watford. But in your opinion, for club side and probably for country, where do you think he thrives most?
From speaking to him, I think he's good at the wing. He's that kind of guy. He likes to hide himself, but he knows what he wants to do. He can play the right, the left, and the middle. But I think that left side, because fair enough, he has won a lot of man of the match. You go and check his stats. Man of the match. From these 13 games, he have won man of the match like twice in the Premier League. That is massive, because what he does is track back as well. He defends as well. He don't just go forward. He defends. He does. He was just looking for this right opportunity, and this is not the last bus stop. He has the flair. Look at there's one of our guys as well, Big Duff. We were together at the match. We were just holding our head. The Chelsea people, they were pushing him off. There were like 3 defenders on him. So the Premiership now know that there's this dangerous guy there. They were pushing him off the pitch. So he can for your question, he can play on the left, he can play on the right, he can play in the middle. It depends on the coach. And if the coach is reasonable enough, and like this, he's very good with the new coach, because the coach is very experienced, and he has so much trust. Some people, they cannot just handle bullshit. They just want to they want to work with the elite.
Exactly. And the other thing is, why in your opinion do you think Emmanuel has not been called up for the Super Eagles in recent times? I mean, we are like dying to have a player like that in that team. We saw all our games in the qualifiers. Some of the games were a bit lackluster. We just managed to win due to individual brilliance of players like Osimhen, and some other ones. Tell me, how did you feel? I mean, sitting at home in England, watching people in green, white, green playing, and he's doing so well with his club, and he's kind of like missing out. How did he feel?
No, not really. I mean, he's a cool guy. He just sits in his house, plays PlayStation. He's not really, it's not fussy. He's just thinking that if they're ready, they're going to call him. And he understands that there are a lot of Nigerian players. So he rather do the talking on the pitch. You see, he doesn't talk to a lot of people. So when he keeps to himself, and he does this thing. The truth of the matter is, a cool guy. You go to his house, he will cook for you. He can do his stuff. He can cook for you. And I try to study him. And as I said, the person nobody can influence him. You can't influence him in a bad way. The only person I can compare to him is people like Ndidi, people like Victor Moses, that Peter Demige, like the outspoken side. When he needs to talk, he talks.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a story I'll tell you guys here. He was supposed to. He likes Wizkid a lot. Wizkid is like, he's a big fan of Wizkid. Yeah. So we just finished the Wizkid show in London. He told me like 2 months before, get me tickets. Pay the money into my account. He got like a ticket because it was the box, the executive box, which is like about £500 per ticket. He bought a few for him and his friends. They said, "Oh, we're gonna go." And the next day was my birthday. I said, "Okay, you need to come. We'll go." We already planned everything. And he then looked. He had the Chelsea game in 2 days' time. He just called me a few hours before. He said, "Drew, my friends are going to be coming down, but I won't be coming down because And I wasn't happy, but I was impressed, And all that behold, I was there. All the footballers were there. Even Chelsea players were there. But at the end of the day, what was the result at the end of the day? He scored against Chelsea. You see, I don't want to call them and say, there's nothing wrong.
Drew, stop rubbing it in. There's a Chelsea fan here.
I'm a kind of Chelsea fan. You know that I went to the Champions League final. But for me, country first before club.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's the kind of player he is, very focused. I mean, some other players will have just just go there, have fun and whatever. But he's focused. He knows what he wants, and he's like, you know what? I don't want to go. I want to focus on my game that day, and bam. Let me just quickly. We're getting comments coming in. A Go for Show one said our journalists need to move away from anonymous sources. It's just a way of spreading rumors. I totally agree with you there, because if you're confident of your story and your sources, just like we're confident and we brought Drew here today, so we can hear from your horse's mouth, then why not just do it? But if you feel you're just there to make, like you said, numbers on your page and whatever you, please pack it. All right. All we want now, we want the best for Nigeria, and obviously we want to encourage these boys. A Go for Show also said, greetings, Amos and Drew. Big Daff. Is that Big Daff? All right. Big Daff. Big up to you, bro. Ojora Babatunde say, in every rumor there is an iota of truth. Agreed, but this has been dispelled here now. Emmanuel Dennis wants to play for Nigeria. If he gets the call, he is going to turn up for Nigeria. That's every player's dream. Who doesn't want to play in the World Cup? Eh? So, yeah, Big Daff, big up to you, bro. How's it going this Monday night? Drew, obviously you represent quite a few Nigerian players, and there's been this talk about Victor Moses coming back to the Super Eagles. What's your take on that? Have you spoken to Victor about it?
Yeah, I'm close to the family. I'm close to John Moses. Yeah, it's.
Drew, we lost you there. Uh-oh. I think we lost Drew there. I can't hear Drew now again. Drew's about giving us some exclusives there. So, Drew, if you can hear me, we lost you. So you have to take that again. Can you hear me, Drew? Oh my God, we lost Drew. Drew, we're trying to reconnect with you. Amos.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Amos. Right. Yeah, Drew, we lost you. We'll try and get back to you, but Amos wants to say something. Amos, go on.
Yeah, so I think what's more important now is that the young man wants to play for Nigeria. He's open and available to play for the Super Eagles. That is the most important right now. There is nothing more important than having him available, especially now that he's in this sizzling form. He's hot right now. He's red hot. And we've seen that from the goals that he has scored. We've seen him play against top teams as well. We're not in doubt of his abilities. It would be nice to have him, especially now that, someone like Victor Osimhen is also not in full form. He's not in full shape yet, because of his injury. He's away from football, and he might be away from football for some time, So I think what the basics is that he's available, and Drew has been able to clear the air. That's why we have to bring him on to come and clear the air, because he's a close source to
this one will be anonymous source.
Exactly. This is no longer an anonymous source. But I mean, journalists use anonymous source. There will always be a smoke somewhere. Anytime there's a fire, there's always a smoke. But if there's a discussion anywhere, but I don't think there should be a reason why Emmanuel Dennis would not want to go to the AFCON. But again, you never can be too sure. Players with their preferences, and then journalists always looking for stories. If they hear anything, they want to put it out there. So and coupled with the fact that this medium is also one of those medium that usually come out with breaking stories, and I think they've been trying for quite some time. Over the weekend he made the rounds, and his players representatives had to quickly put up the news that this is false news, and now Nigerians can be at rest. That's why we needed to bring Drew, just to clear the air, so that Nigerians can understand what the current situation is. The current situation is that the player is available to play for the Super Eagles, and that's what we should be happy about.
Top man. Drew, was he Ojoraba Batunde say it be like say they carry light for your area? That's why we lost you. Go on, Drew. Tell us about Victor Moses, please.
No, Victor Moses is cool. Yeah. There's some players that I see that are on the same class. Victor Moses is one of those players. Yeah. When he finishes training, he goes straight to rest. There's no extra activities, whatever the case may be. Same thing with Ndidi. They finish their training. They have they are structured. These are professional players. So you need those players in your team, and they will always deliver. So Ndidi now, they call him Willy Willy in Leicester. After the match, you will see him like this. Yeah, there will be a lot of people, distraction. Yeah, people, the next thing is on. He's gone. He hasn't got time for that. He hasn't got time for this celebrity or this. Everybody, he knows his job and he does it, and then he goes and rests because he needs to recover for the next game. So in this class of players are people like what's the name? The one I know, people like Ndidi, people like Victor Moses, people like what's his name? Emmanuel Dennis. Yeah. So there are players like that. They're a lot of good players, but above all, if you are not disciplined, you cannot perform. You cannot deliver. If you are not focused, you cannot deliver. So
is he going to come back for the Super Eagles? Victor Moses?
Victor Moses? Yeah,
Victor Moses.
He will. Yes, because what happened is that the last when he left the last time, I had a deal for him. Yeah, I had a deal for him, and the endorsement deal was tied around the Super Eagles. So, but for some reason, he just unannounced. He said, he retired from the national Super Eagles, and as soon as he does that, they pull the plug. And it was something that he was interested in. So the Super Eagles is important as well. So if he looks at it, that it's not going to affect much. I mean, it's something that he can handle. He can just come back for a year, but it's not fussy. But yeah, I've not spoken to him in the last 6, maybe 3 months or something. I'll try and have a word, but I think that he will come. But he's not fussy. Except they want him, they will come. But he's not going to go out of his way to say, I want to play. He's cool.
Yeah. So Ego for sure also said, Joraba Batunde regarding our throughs. Sometimes, however, not always. Often, if one does not have the rightful story, then one should wait until they can get the facts before rushing to publish. OJB Sports TV, thanks for joining us. You are healing Big Daff here, and I agree. So yeah, Drew, that's obviously Nigeria's blessed with talents. Okay, we've got them all around the world, but we seem to be more interested in talents in the Premier League because this is where it's happening. We need to say, it's happening here. This is where the glamour is, the Premier League. Now we've got Ndidi here. We've got Yana Cho. We've got Truste Ekong, Emmanuel Dennis. When are we going to see Victor? Ekong. When are we going to see Victor Osimhen here in Prem? People are saying, he could have come to United or Spurs or whatever. Do you think at some point soon Osimhen will be here banging in goals?
Osimhen is another very good player, a focused player that knows what he wants. Osimhen is a very good player. Osimhen will eventually end up in the Premiership. Yeah, but it's just a process. It's a process, step by. You don't need to rush it. He's still young, but by the time he gets here, I mean, the Italians, I mean, it's a business. They're playing him. They still want to market him. They know that, obviously he can still move. They will still they would like to make money. They paid a lot of money for him. Why not make money off him? So they will. He's capable of playing in the Premiership.
Now, I want to put you on the spot regarding our Super Eagles coach, Get a Raw. There's been the school of thought that believes he's actually not done anything for the Super Eagles. There's another school of thought that believes What was his remit? Get you to this AFCON, get you to the World Cup. He's on course to doing that. Win you AFCON. He might win, he might not win. Get you to advance in the World Cup. He might do that, he might not do that. Is it the right time for us to say goodbye to him, give him the golden handshake, and yeah, bye bye, and get another world class manager, or should we just persevere with him?
Personally,
That's a hard one, eh?
no, it's not a hard one. I'm not a technical person when it comes to sports.
Yeah.
I'm more about, the marketing, advertising, branding side of things. I'm not a tactician. Yeah. So,
but you're a fan, though.
I think he plays that fatherly role. Yeah. I think he's a guy that can, base more than that, right? And I've spoken to him a few times. He's a cool guy, I speak German, we spoke German together. But there is something about him that I think that, needs to be upgraded. It might just have to upgrade one or two things. But he's, sometimes the footballers have to do what they have to do on the pitch, right? But you still need that person. You need somebody that they will respect, somebody that, that is not vindictive. We don't want somebody that, because of this, because of that, I think I don't like fussy people. I think he's cool-headed, I think he has his good side, So me personally, I don't have anything against him, but if the players have to do what they have to do, in my own opinion, the players still have their role to play. So we'll see how it goes. But as I said,
we'll see how it goes. Yeah, no, technical. I will ask you a question on the branding of the Super Eagles pretty soon. But let me just take you to Amos. Amos, go ahead with your question. Amos, I can't hear you.
Just a second.
You're mute.
So can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right.
So I saw a few interviews with some ex-internationals who, I think particularly Aribo, who was of the opinion that sacking Raw at this time might not even change too much, So why make this change? Why go for this approach at this point in time? It's not like if we go to, if he said it's not like if we go to AFCON, we might win anyway, So it's not clear cut that we will. So why are we letting Raw go at this point in time? That it might cause a disruption in terms of the team spirit, in terms of psychological effect on the players. And you don't want to go to the tournament with your players not in full confidence. There's always this talk that General has not taken us where we want to be. But hey, this is an international tournament we're going for, a continental game that we're going for, and then we're firing our coach just before the game. What exactly is our plan? And this is what we always talk about the NFF. What exactly is the plan? Does the NFF have a vision? So if you decide to fire this man at this point in time, what is the overall plan? Do you have a plan for the Nations Cup for AFCON? If you let this man go, what will be the next thing? So there are questions hanging here and there. Even the NFF themselves might not be able to answer at this point in time. Nigerians are not even sure, because we saw a list recently, and that list has a number of players who go into AFCON who prepared the list. General. So I don't even understand what's going on. General prepares the list and then he's not going to be there, or is somebody else going to take charge? Who are those that are going to be taking charge? I don't understand why we usually like to put ourselves in a complicated position, But it's just unfortunate that this is where we find ourselves, and every year we keep coming back to say we're going back to the drawing board. It's very unfortunate, really.
Well, you said it all there, Amos. Drew, I said I was going to ask you a question about branding and branding Super Eagles. Everyone knows about the Three Lions, how strong a brand is. They are. And obviously, the Brazilian national team, everyone knows about that. They're probably a big brand in South America. In Africa, we don't really have a brand that big, And Nigeria should be taking the lead in this, you know, especially with the Super Eagles, because we launch a jersey. Everybody in the world wants to wear that jersey. You know, that's the truth. I mean, the first time I saw that jersey, you wouldn't believe it. It was from a proper English person. You know, I wanted to buy one, but you know, it quickly ran off. You know, because everything was sold out before I could get my one. And I was ashamed. You know, I'm a Nigerian proper, and I couldn't get one. I actually saw one with an English person wearing it before me, a proper Niger boy. You know, I felt so slighted. But how can we leverage on that name, Nigeria, Super Eagles? We're going to World Cup in Qatar. It's possible Nigeria is going to qualify for it. How can we build a brand and make Nigeria, you know, even if we don't win that World Cup, if we don't qualify for the quarterfinals, but people can still talk about Super Eagles years after Qatar 2022?
It's very simple. It's very, very simple. I'll tell you what. It's just like the Whiskey show. Yeah. It's sold three dates within seconds. Sold 3 dates. Right? Three. Yeah. It's sold that's like 60,000 capacity. Right. And the funny thing is that the tickets were not even bought by Nigerians. The first date was like, I didn't know the first 2 days, I didn't even know anybody that have a ticket. Anybody, you know, at least in the UK, I mean, in London, if you call people, at least you know that Drew is one of the prominent guys here. But I didn't even know anyone that had a ticket. It was bought by, you know, the new generation, the like this and that. So it's the same thing when it comes to Nigeria. Yeah, the Super Eagles, they're so big, but we have not amplified it. It's a brand that we have not amplified. Maybe we're just like 5% of what we are. You know, I tell you what, that jersey you were talking about, and that same money, my elder sister called me. She was crying on the phone. I'm like, what's happening? He said, oh, you're into football. You can't even get jersey for your nephew. I'm like, even me myself, I don't have the jersey. You know, but she's like, the son went to queue in Nike, the Nike went to queue there, but he could not get the jersey to buy. These are people that were born and bred here, that have been to Nigeria once or twice. So Nigeria is related to every country. You know, Nigeria, we have the numbers. Yeah. So branding is simple. Branding, there's a simple principle behind branding. It's give and take. What is the Super Eagles giving? Look at what happened to Davido. Why is Davido brand so big? It gives. Okay, what did he give now? Now on his birthday, he gave 151 million. Do you know what that means to his brand? They had as soon as he did that, he had an endorsement already. Who are the stakeholders? The stakeholders are the players. What are the players doing? How are we educating the players? I educate the players, but I'm not getting paid for it. You see, but what I'm doing is that I've given more. They say it's more blessing. It's more blessing for you to give than to receive. I've given more that I've received. So that's why the players, when they look at me on my birthday now, I've got maybe more than a dozen, more than 12 footballers' wife wishing me happy birthday. They're celebrating me. It's not coincidence. They are celebrating me because they say, Drew, you are the only one telling our husband the truth. You don't come and start begging, oh, I want to do this project, give me money, this and that. You just put it out there for them for free, you know. And funny enough, it's their wives that catch on to it first before them. Like, look, you have to build your brand. Your brand is your own economy, because after your football, that's what you're going to depend on. But going back to the Super Eagles can do so much. The Super Eagles of Nigeria can have a shop in every country. I remember growing up in Germany as a black young guy. Yeah. If I go into a sports shop, you know, when they have the Jordan trainers and all that, if I'm buying, I've always been an influencer. The white parents will be looking at the one I'm buying. That's what they want to buy for their kids. You see, so, and apart from that, in the whole of Germany, in the whole of different countries, they have a lot of mixed race kids. How can they identify? It's only with the music and with sports. Then the music is gone already. Look at Burna Boy. Burna Boy is sending out me and OJB. we were at the NBA Europe, the NBA Europe 2 years ago, when the two NBA team came, the Bucks and the Hornets. They played against each other. That same venue that they used, that took over 20,000 people, Burna Boy went to perform there. If our artists can sell to Nigerians and non-Nigerians and people that want to identify with Nigeria, Nigeria is the American of Africa. If our artists, Burna Boys, what Whiskey just done now, Whiskey have just done what people like Drake, Chris Brown was on it, came to like it sold out already. There was no effect, but just said, let me come and show face. The crowd is there already. So if these guys, Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid, if those guys can their brand can be that big, the Super Eagles can do better. Because what we're talking about, Indidi, they played every weekend. They play minimum capacity 40,000 people week in, week out. So they have not really activated their brand. And if the Super Eagles want to brand themselves, they have to use the stakeholders. But sometimes the relationship between the athletes, which are the main stakeholders, the footballers and the Super Eagles, sometimes it's like hush, hush. The Super Eagles will bring endorsement. The players will be like, who is paying? Are they paying us or they're paying the Super Eagles? There should be this, give them something, give the boys something to be happy about. Bring people, athlete branding experts, bring them to come and talk to this player that you are the people that are going to push this brand. How can you push a brand without the main stakeholders? So it's give and take. But in recent times, have you ever heard that the Super Eagles have done anything?
Nah.
Have they really done anything like, okay, the Super Eagles, they went to visit this, like, what are they even really doing? They have all it takes. Okay, I'll give you a tip now. They have a car manufacturer in Nigeria that have endorsed the Super Eagles, right? So they said apparently the details that they gave them 4 cars to give to the officials, whatever the case may be. Okay, that's it. What have they done for the players? When the players are coming to camp, are these cars not supposed to pick them up from the airport? It's a win-win situation. When they are doing that product placement, it will give other brands that say, if I do this to Super Eagles, they're going to, where's the visibility? You said, they just do little things, say, the match of the day, they'll give them 1 million, all those things. Nobody sees that. So sometimes they need to pay us. We cannot be giving them, we give them free tip. Okay, they come in their hotel, right? You don't even see them arrive. This is the norm. This is what the French team do. They have their car sponsors. The French team does. The England team, the Germans, they do. So why can't Nigeria do it? There is no. We will start blaming. Always blame. And now there is no monopoly. Nobody is stopping Nigeria not to do what they want to do. We don't have to wait for FIFA. We don't have to wait for anybody. We have look at the Indians. Do you know what they are doing? The cricketers, the cricket that is even not as big as football. Do you know the kind of endorsement they have? The biggest cricketer in Amos, the biggest cricketer in India earns as much as Messi on endorsement. You see, so we have a country with 200 million people. Yeah, we have that goal team. Then we have this. They have a lot of brands, but they have not put themselves out there to be approached.
It seemed to be, you know what, Drew? Wait, I think we lost Drew now. Okay, you know what? We're going to get back on this program. Probably next week, we will get Drew back. So we're going to talk a lot because it's what you talk about when it comes to branding the Super Eagles and brands generally and sportsmen and women in Nigeria, because we've not even scratched the surface at all, just like you said, just about 5%. I remember we had a professor, or a friend of ours, a friend of the program, Professor Mogaji, who is also a brand expert and advertising expert. He's always very particular about this. I'm always saying that, listen, we've not even touched branding when it comes to sports in Nigeria. I think it would be nice to have both of you here at some time. Definitely, we're going to get Drew back, but I'm sorry to say, it's time. Time's gone now. We've done full cycle on football show today. Amos, I want to thank you so much. I mean, we had to manage to get you on the show. I mean, I don't know what happened to Sheffield today. I hope this is not going to happen to Sheffield United or Sheffield Wednesday when they are playing.
I'm not sure what has happened today, but it's good that we had Drew on the show, you know, and then we're able to also connect via a call.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it would be nice to have Drew once more. You know, come talk about the branding proper, and then how we can change things back home. And then the reality that is right in front of us now is that the world is tilting towards a lockdown, maybe somehow, and Africa is being secluded. You know, Africa is in some people are saying that Africa is being marginalized. You know, but that is a wake-up call for us. Let us build our own countries. Let us improve our conditions. Let us improve our system so that when countries decide to shut us out, we are self-reliant. You know, we become we are able to take care of our own needs. You know, not when the UK or when Switzerland says, oh, we're not allowing people from Nigeria at this point in time, and we're not coming to Nigeria, everybody starts shaking. You know, he sends a very wrong message. But everybody should just wake up. Administrators, government, everybody should wake up to the occasion. And let's solve our basic needs. Let's solve our basic problems, you know.
Thank you so much, Amos, for that. And big up to you. Oh, wow. Big Duff. Thank you so much, bro. You subscribe to the show. If you're watching and you've not subscribed to the show, please do. Okay? Subscribe to this show and please have a look at what we've done in the past. If you like it, give us a thumbs up, all right? Bami, thank you for joining the show. OJB Sports, big up to you too, mate. Thank you for joining the show all the way from Paris in France. Hopefully one day we'll have you on the show too so we can talk about football. As I know you're also very passionate about that. For every other person that's joined the show today, please join us next week. We'll bring someone again so you can contribute, all right? Thank you so much, Drew. Big up to you, Drew, for all that you've been doing in football in the UK and obviously for Nigeria. Thank you for coming on the show at a short notice, all right? That's the end of the show today. On behalf of my colleague, you're watching him now, Amos, and myself, Wale, and obviously my series producer, Yomi Omogeja, just behind the console and making sure everything is all right. You can hear us. Thank you, OJB Sports, for subscribing to us. Thank you, mate. So until next week, 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. this time, at 9 p.m. Nigeria time, we'll be back. All right. Thank you. Have a nice week ahead of you. And good night.